Hello viewers, my name is Amit Brahmbhatt, and in the last few interviews we discussed about yoga with Dr. Avinash Patwardhan. Dr. Avinash has written some scholarly articles and research papers and also done some research on how to incorporate music into yoga. So today we are going to discuss a little bit about laughter yoga. Welcome Dr. Avinash Patwardhan. We are
Thank you, Amit.
glad
It's
to
a
have you
pleasure.
here. So let's start with practice of laughter yoga. How did it come about to be?
Actually, it was around 1990s where one doctor in India, his name is Dr. Madan Kataria, he started championing this concept of laughter yoga. He started laughter clubs, and then eventually he didn't call it as laughter yoga at that point of time. When it was adopted in the US, they started calling it laughter yoga.
So I have read in one of the Dale Carnegie books that your action follows, emotions follow actions, such as if you smile, your mood is going to be happier. Is that true in when it comes to laughter yoga?
Well, probably as far as the science goes, no. Means I think Dale Carnegie indirectly said it so, Madan Kataria tried to say it so, that you can fake laughter and your body will not recognize the difference and you would get the benefit of it. But there was one study done in 2012 by one Dr. Casper, and he tried to prove if this concept is true, and his paper didn't show any statistically significant results. And other than that paper, I have not come across any scientific paper which has shown the effectiveness of laughter yoga.
So also you also have some of the yoga sessions that you teach. Do you incorporate laughter in these sessions?
Absolutely, I do. When I offer a retreat, I usually have about 10 to 15 minutes of session of laughter, but I don't ask the participants to fake it. Actually, what we do sometimes is read some book, say for example P.G. Woodhouse, or I have a very good collection of jokes which I read to them, or sometimes I ask them in their personal life to watch Tom and Jerry, Laurel Hardy, Charlie Chaplin, which really induces genuine spontaneous laughter in them. And there is scientific evidence where it has been shown that actual the genuine laughter, when it comes from within, when your brain is tickled, it does produce some good neuropeptides or chemicals in the brain which have soothing effect on your body and mind.
Also, since you have read so many ancient scriptures, is there a mention of laughter yoga or laughter therapy in
Not
those?
in the language of yoga, because as we talked last time, for music there is Nadabindu Upanishad, but for laughter there is not a direct reference. Nonetheless, in ancient Indian philosophy, they talk of 9 different shades of human emotions, and one of them is Hasya Rasa, which is one of the shade of human emotion of laughter and happiness. And in that sense, that concept of hasya rasa is connected to well-being of a person.
So, is there a mention that laughter can help person reach enlightenment or something?
There is a very indirect reference, not in the yoga literature, but nonetheless into the ancient Indian literature per se. I think there is one reference somewhere in Kalidas, which I don't exactly remember the quote, but it does suggest that hasya rasa ultimately can act as a means to an end to ananda rasa, and from ananda rasa you can go to shanta rasa, which is the ultimate state of peace and I would say salvation or liberation. So yes, it's like a hopping stones. So you can start with Hasya Rasa. From there you can proceed to Ananda Rasa. From Ananda Rasa you can go to Shanta Rasa. So in that sense there is a connection. But the only thing that probably the caveat I would have is that faking it at some point of time, it has to get converted to the natural spontaneous laughter which comes from the heart, not from the lips, because that physical faking for a short while, can it help? Yeah, sure. Means it changes your breathing pattern, probably it changes the return of blood to your right side of the heart. So in that sense one can have a scientific study and show some little effect, but the genuine effect that we are talking about of the genuine concept of laughter or humor, that can only come if you are engaged emotionally and mentally into that.
Wow, that's a lot of good information for us. So, is there a medical research that supports this claim of laughter improving health?
There is only, as I mentioned, I came across only two research papers. One was in 2010 and one was in 2012. The 2012 paper is a negative paper, but in 2010 there was a small study done on elderly women where they tried to do this laughter yoga, and they did find very small effect. It was not very scientifically robust effect, but nonetheless they did find little effect, suggesting that it may have some potential.
That definitely is a very valuable information for our viewers. So, say some of our viewers may want to get in touch with you. How can they contact you?
Yeah, sure. They can contact me at www.aviyoga.com, and I have an email address there, and they can always get in touch with me, and I would be happy to answer any questions they have.
Thank you, Dr. Avinash, for taking time and coming to our studio and explaining us a lot of theories behind laughter yoga. Thank you, viewers, for watching our show. Now back to the news desk.